I am halfway through my pregnancy, which is crazy. So today I'm going to guide you through a gentle yoga class. And this is something that you can do in your first trimester. I don't know about you, but I was super sick during my first trimester. I couldn't do anything, but I remember wanting to move my body. So when I was feeling good, I would just do some really light stretches. So this is something that's really great for your first trimester, and even if you only get through half of it, like maybe the beginning or the end during like Shavasana, it's gonna be so beneficial and help you so much. So I do have two blocks with me, a blanket and a bolster. These are all optional, you do not need any of these. Instead of a blanket, you can even use a towel. If you don't have a bolster, you can use a pillow. We really won't be using the bolster till Shavasana, so all optional. But I do suggest having something like a blanket or a towel because you want to elevate your hips. You want them higher than your knees. So we are going to sit on this. We are going to begin with our blanket. So grab that, and you can just move everything off to the side. Actually, let's grab our blocks and let's place them at the top of our mats. You can just place them on each side. And then you're going to grab your blanket, you're going to fold it up like this, and just place it behind you and then sit on the edge. Good. And then just find a really comfortable seated position. You can cross your ankles, you can bring the soles of your feet together, or if it feels better, you can just bring your legs straight out. And then rest your arms down by your side. You can bring your palms facing up to receive or down to ground yourself. I'm feeling like I need to ground myself just during the holidays. It's very hectic. So I'm going to place my hands down just so I can root myself and find my center. And then you're going to close your eyes and exhale all the air out of the mouth. And take a big deep breath in. And open mouth, exhale, side out. Let's do two more like that. Inhale. And open mouth, exhale. Last one, inhale. Big deep breath out. And just continue to take a few more on your own. And just slowing things down. And either taking your hands to baby space or taking one hand to your heart and your other hand to baby's heart. And tuning into that sound, into that rhythm that your baby hears and feels 24/7 of the day. And just remember that your breath is always there for you. And just remember that you're not alone, and baby is with you. And begin to rock forward and back. Super small, gentle movements. And now let's really exaggerate these. We're going to take our hands to our knees. We're really going to exaggerate these tilts. You're going to inhale, press your heart forward. And then exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. Inhale. And exhale. And just continue to take these moving at your own pace. If you're feeling a little congested today, which towards the end of your pregnancy, it's pretty common, you can just continue to breathe in and out of the mouth. But if you're feeling good and you want to breathe in and out of the nose or breathe in through the nose, out the mouth, whatever feels good for you. explanation, we're gonna pause there. We're gonna move into our hip circles. So you're gonna take your body over towards your right knee, back towards your left, and then forward again. And now make these very fluid. They can be big, they can be small, but you're gonna move to the rhythm of your breath. Very fluid, very organic. These are such a great way to get baby in that right fetal position. And those tilts that we were doing help with lower back discomfort, which is very common in pregnancy. So we do these seated and tabletop, and we also do them standing. And then take these in the opposite direction and notice how this side feels. So noticing the difference between each side. Remember, every day in pregnancy is going to feel different. For the longest time, my baby was sitting on the right side, and then all of a sudden, last week, baby just switched over to the left. So it has been feeling different. When I move my body, when baby was on the right, it felt different, and now when baby's on the left, it feels different. So depending where your baby's at in your belly. And then make your way back to center. You're gonna take your hands behind you, fingertips pointing towards you or towards the back of the room. As you lift your chest up towards the ceiling, gently drop your head back. You can stay here, or if it feels good, you're gonna lift your hips up towards the ceiling. And tuck your chin to your chest, melt your hips all the way back down, and then make your way back to center. You're gonna switch the crossing of the legs. If the soles of your feet were already together, don't worry about it. Stay exactly where you're at, and then move back into your tilts. And just noticing how this feels. And if you want to close your eyes here and just breathe. You and baby, breathing as one. And then whenever you're ready, begin to move into your hip circles. It doesn't matter which direction you start in, just like we did when our leg was crossed the other way, we're going to switch. And reverse. Good, and making your way back to center. Take your hands behind you, lift your chest up towards the ceiling, gently drop your head back. Stay here or lift your hips up towards the ceiling. And then tuck your chin to your chest, melt your hips all the way back down. Come back to center. Sit nice and tall. You're gonna bring your shoulders up to your ears, draw them back down, and then opposite direction. You're going to inhale, sweep both arms above your head, palms touch. And then exhale, draw your hands to heart center. 2 more like that. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. And last one, big deep breath in. Reach your arms above your head. Maybe gaze up at your fingertips if that feels good in the neck. And then exhale, hands to heart center. You're going to press the palms of your hands together, lengthen the spine, and then draw your shoulders away from the ears. You're just going to gaze over to the right. So just gaze past your right shoulder. And take a breath here. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, you're going to bring your right ears to your right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale, center. You're going to interlace your fingers, bring your arms straight out in front of you. So the palms of your hands are pressing forward. And then you're going to round the spine, tuck the chin. Inhale, arms rise, lift the chest. Lift your arms. Now the palms of your hands are pressing up towards the ceiling, but draw your shoulders away from your ears, making sure you're not shrugging your shoulders. And then relax the jaw. Relax your toes. Breathe down to baby. I'm gonna do that one more time. So you're gonna round your spine, tuck the chin, press the palms of your hands forward. And then inhale, arms rise, lift the chest, lift the heart, relax the shoulders. And then we're just gonna lean over to the left. So reach your arms over to the left and then maybe gaze up to the right as long as that feels good. And then inhale, center. Exhale over to the right. Inhale, center. And then exhale, take your arms out into a T. Flex your hands like you're pressing the walls apart. And you can just gaze over at each hand, making sure that your fingers are spread wide evenly. And we're gonna hold here for a few rounds of breath. So it's very important if you are on the computer a lot, or maybe if you're a hairstylist, to where you're using your wrist a lot, you wanna make sure that you do a lot of wrist exercises throughout your pregnancy because you are more prone to carpal tunnel. You can thank relaxing for that, a pregnancy hormone. All right, we're gonna stay here for one more round of breath. Ooh, my arms are burning. And then you're gonna point through the fingertips, make a light fist with your hands, and then roll your wrist. Use your breath. Remind yourself that you're strong. And then opposite direction. We got this, we're almost done. My arms are burning. And then come back to stillness, point through the fingertips, flip your palms are facing up, inhale, arms rise. And then exhale, release your arms down by your side. Whew. And then bring your shoulders up to your ears, going back down, opposite direction. And then maybe cross your right arm over your chest with your left arm. Just get a little deeper stretch. And then release and switch. Cross your left arm over your chest. This should feel really good. All right, and then come back to center, release your arms. So let's keep our left leg in. We're gonna extend our right leg out to the side. You're gonna keep your right foot flexed. Your toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. You're gonna take your right hand to your right leg. Inhale, left arm rises, and then exhale, stretch over to the right. And inhale, come back to center. Take your left hand behind your bent knee, sweep your right arm over your head. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, center. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale. And exhale. And then make your way back to center. Bring your right leg in. Extend your left leg out to the side. And then take your left hand to your left leg. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, stretch over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, take it back. One more round. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe you want to close your eyes here and just move to the rhythm of your breath. Inhale. Exhale. And then make your way back to center. You're going to bring your left leg in. You're going to walk your hands forward. Make your way to tabletop. So with your blanket or your towel, I'm just going to say blanket from here on out. So with your blanket, again, you're going to keep it folded like this. You're just going to take it and so it's in the center of your mat. Because we are going to be on our knees in the first half of class, and our knees just feel a little tender during pregnancy. And if you're on hardwood floor like I am, or maybe you're on tile, we just want to create extra support for our knees. So you're going to place your knees onto the blanket, and then your hands are underneath your shoulders. Your fingers are spread wide. Your legs are about hip width. Tops of your feet are flat on the mat. So we're just going to take a few rounds of cat and cow. So you're going to inhale, lengthen the spine. Rather than dropping the belly, you want to really lengthen, reaching forward. And then exhale, round the spine, tap the chin. Push the earth away. So inhale, lengthen for cow pose. Exhale, round for cat. Inhale. Then exhale. And then slowly make your way back to neutral. You're going to take your hands as wide as the mat. Same with your knees. So hands and knees are as wide as the mat. We're going to take really big exaggerating circles. Alright, this is going to feel really good on your hips. Our hips are actually the first thing to grow in pregnancy. So if you're in your first trimester and your hips are just feeling super tight, this is going to be really helpful. And if you're in your third trimester, you're sleeping on your side a lot, so your hips are probably feeling a little tender. So this will feel really good. So you're going to inhale, shift your weight forward, take your body over to your right, back, over towards your left, and then forward again. So we've been here before, it was just seated. So now we're in tabletop. It's a little different. But you're just going to move to the rhythm of your breath. Close your eyes here. Enjoy this nice stretch to the hips. Taking it to your edge. Only as long as it feels good to do so. And then reverse, take these in the opposite direction. Good. And make your way back to center. We're going to come into child's pose. You're going to take, so your knees are wide. You're going to bring your big toes to touch. Sit back on your heels and stretch both arms forward. What you can do is even get off of the blanket. Maybe bring it all the way to the top. You can grab a block, place your forehead, and then stretch your arms forward. If this does not feel good, you're going to come into a puppy pose. So you're going to come up high. So your knees are still wide. Your hips stay stepped up high. You're just going to lower onto your forearms and then just let your head hang. So this is another option. Wherever you're at, you're just going to close your eyes and breathe. Just take a few rounds of breath here. So this is your resting pose. This is a pose that you come back to whenever you need a moment to stillness, to ground yourself, to center. If something doesn't feel right, if it feels too much, and you need to back off, come into this pose. Come back to your breathing. Come back to your breath. And on your next inhalation, you're going to rise into tabletop. So you can grab that blanket, bring it back to the center, and then come to tabletop. So we're going to take our hands underneath the shoulders, and you're going to bring your legs to meet one another. And then just extend your right leg back. Your toes are curled. You're just going to shift your weight forward and back, back and forward. So it's going to be a nice stretch on the soles of your feet, your ankles, your calves. If you're having a lot of leg cramps at night, just really press into that back heel. And then come back to center. You're going to lift your right leg up, toes pointing down, hips are squared. And if this does not feel good, then you stay here. But if it feels okay, you can lift the leg up. And then you're going to lower onto your left forearm. You're going to bend your right knee, open up the hip, and then take some circles from here. So if you're having any pubic pain, any sort of pelvic discomfort, please avoid this pose. And then reverse. Good, and then bring your right leg to meet your left. Come high on the palm of your left hand and then just let that go. Sway the hips side to side. Good, and come back to stillness. Hands underneath the shoulders, legs meet. Extend your left leg back, toes are curled. Just shift your weight forward and back, back and forward. hugging baby in. Where can you soften? Where can you let go? Good, and come back to center. Lift the left leg up, toes pointing down, hips are squared. And then lower onto your right forearm. Bend the left knee, open up the hip, and then take some circles. Good. Reverse. This should feel really nice. And bring your left leg to meet your right. Come high on the palm of your right hand. You're going to tuck your toes, then walk your hands back towards your knees. We won't be here long, but I do want you to get a nice stretch in the soles of your feet. So you're going to sit nice and tall, relax the shoulders, soften the face. You're going to inhale, sweep your arms above your head, palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Come back to your breath. Come back to your baby. Slow things down. Slow the breath down. Good. And then just shake your wrist out, let that go. And then make your way to tabletop. We're going to come standing. So just lift your feet up off the mat, point, flex the feet, roll the ankles, and then just let that go. Shake it out. Let it go. Good. And then come back to stillness. So we are now going to come into a down dog today. So you're just going to tuck your toes, you're going to walk your hands back towards your knees, and then slowly you're going to rise, lift the hips up towards the ceiling, and then take your legs about hip width or wider. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on your shins or your thighs, lengthen, and then exhale, forward fold. Slight bend in both knees, then take your hands to your hips, and you're going to inhale, rise, exhale here. You can just fold up your blanket and then move it off to the side. So we're just going to do a couple standing postures, and then we're going to work our way down and then set up for Shavasana, which is my favorite pose. So you're going to take your hands to your hips. Your legs are about hip width. Take a slight bend in both knees. So we've been here before. We did it in tabletop. We did it in seated position. Now we're going to do it standing. So you're just going to take really big circles here. Moving the hips, making your hips very fluid. You can do this in labor, creating a rhythm, and have your birth team know your rhythm. Maybe you want to do these and, I don't know, hum, or if you want to play music, whatever you need to do to get through that contraction. It's going to bring your baby earth side. And then opposite direction. Good. And make your way back to standing. Come back to center. You're going to bring your legs to meet. You're going to keep your hands on your hips. You're just going to cross your right leg over your left. Inhale, arms rise. With your left hand, you're going to grab onto your right wrist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, stretch over to the left. Maybe gaze up to the right. Inhale, center. With your right hand, grab onto your left wrist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, stretch over to the right. Maybe gaze up to the left. Come back to center. And then release your arms down. Take your hands to your hips. Uncross the legs. Now cross your left leg over your right. Lengthen, sit nice, stand nice and tall. Inhale, reach both arms above your head. With your left hand, you're going to grab onto your right wrist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, stretch over to the left. Inhale, center. With your right hand, grab onto your left wrist, lengthen. And then exhale. come back to center, and then release your arms down by your side. You're just gonna uncross the legs, reach your shoulders up to your ears, showing back down, opposite direction. You're gonna inhale, reach both arms above your head, and exhale, take your arms out to a T. You're gonna cross your left arm underneath your right, and you're just gonna hug your shoulder blades. So we're gonna pause here for a moment. How does this feel? Ask yourself, do I need to stay here? Is this enough for me? Maybe you can go a little deeper. Maybe that feels good to do so. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna eagle wrap your arms, you're gonna cross at the elbows, maybe the wrists. You're gonna inhale, draw your elbows up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, draw them back down. So please only do this if this feels good. Inhale, exhale. One more, inhale, and exhale. Good, inhale, arms open up like a T, and then exhale, cross your right arm over your left, hug your shoulder blades. Again, pause here, check in with yourself. Ask yourself, how does this feel? Can I go deeper? If I go deeper, does it feel good to do so? So if it does, begin to eagle wrap your arms, crossing at the elbows, maybe the wrists. And same thing, just take your elbows up towards the ceiling, draw them back down. Two more, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, arms open up like a T. And then exhale, release your arms down by your side, bring your shoulders up to your ears, draw them back down, and then opposite direction. Good. So let's grab our blocks. We're going to place them at the back of our mat, because we are going to use them. And then let's come to standing, come to the center of our mat. So I'm just turning facing you just so I can see you. But you can always face forward, so facing the short edge of your mat. I'm just facing the long edge of my mat, so I'm facing you mamas. So you're gonna take your legs hip width, your arms resting down by your side. We're just gonna do 4 half squats, okay? You're gonna inhale, reach your arms above your head, palms touch. And then exhale, squat halfway, really press your hips back, draw your hands to your heart. If you need to take your stance wider to create more space for baby, please do so. Inhale, rise, relax your pelvic floor, relax your fingers. And then exhale, breathe your baby down, relax the toes. So it's all about relaxing. 2 more, inhale. And then exhale, because remember, in childbirth, we need to relax our pelvic floor so baby can make its way out. 1 more, inhale. And exhale. Good, inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Take your hands to your hips, step your left leg to meet your right. Let's make our way to the back of our mats, making sure that both blocks, one block's on the left edge, the right block's on the other block's on the right side. Legs hip width or wider. Gonna inhale, reach both arms above your head, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold, slight bend in both knees. Grab your blocks as you reach your way down. Take both blocks so they're right in front of you. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. 1 more, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Move the blocks off to the side. Walk your hands forward, slowly bend your knees so now you're in tabletop. Grab your blanket, place it at the center of your mat, extra support for your knees. We're just gonna come into a low lunge and then we're all done. So now take your blocks to the top of your mat, we are going to use them. You're just gonna walk your hands over towards the left as you step your right foot forward. Take your hands to your right thigh, and then rise. So in pregnancy, we have more blood in the body. We have about 50% more blood in the body. So our balance is off when we're pregnant. So maybe taking your stance wider just to create more stability. okay? So I'm just gonna walk my right foot all the way out to the edge. I'm gonna walk my left knee out to the left edge. You can stay here. You can keep your hands on your right thigh, lengthen the spine, close your eyes, and just breathe. Stay here. It's perfectly fine. If you want to take a little deeper, you're just going to stretch both arms above your head. Shoulders relaxed, your face is soft. We're going to take 2 cactus with the arms. You're going to inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, cactus the arms, open up the chest. One more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, you're going to release your hands down to your mat. Grab both blocks. You're going to shift your weight back into your half splits and make your way into your low lunge. So I like taking my blocks to the inside of the right leg just because I feel like I can get a deeper stretch that way. But I know some moms who love taking one block to the inside of the leg and then one block to the outside. For me, that doesn't feel good. I also feel like it's crushing my belly, but again, this is your practice. You do what feels best for you. What feels best in your body? Because we could both be 20 weeks, but what feels good to you may not feel good to me. So always listen to your body. Always do what's right for you. You know best. Listen to your mama intuition. It tells you a lot. Our bodies speak to us. We just have to listen. And then make your way into your low lunge. And then just move your blocks up to the side or forward. Release your hands. And then bring your right knee to meet your left. Let that go. Sway the hips side to side. And then come back to stillness. We're going to walk your hands over to the right. Step your left foot forward. Take your hands to your left thigh. And then rise. So pressing on your thigh to lengthen. Sit nice and tall. Stay here. Or float your arms above your head. Shoulders relaxed. Face is soft. 2 cactus with the arms. Big deep breath in. Exhale, cactus. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale, arms rise. Exhale, release your hands, grab your blocks, shift your weight back, and then forward again. Pause when you need to. For those whose hips are really tight or hamstrings are really tight, just listen to your body. And then make your way into your low lunge. You're just going to move your blocks off to the side, release your hands, and then bring your left leg to meet your right. One last time, just let that go. Sway the hips side to side. And let it go. Good. Come back to stillness. You're going to cross your ankles, and then make your way to a comfortable seated position. So we're just going to do one more thing seated, and then we're setting up for Shavasana. So grab your blanket, place it behind you. All right, so sitting nice and tall. We work on our hands and knees a lot, so I just want to do some wrist exercises, and that's it. So you're just going to interlace your fingers, and then just take figure 8s with the wrist. And reverse. Come back to stillness, shake your wrist out, and then throw. Okay, so we're going to set up for Shavasana. You have a few options. You can bring your legs up the wall as long as you don't have high blood pressure. Just make sure that you have a bolster or a blanket underneath your hips. If you're in your first trimester and it feels totally good to do so, you don't really have to place anything underneath your hips if you don't want to. But if you are in your 2nd and 3rd trimester, please make sure that you are elevated or again, you have something underneath your hips. You can lay on your side, on your when it's really comfortable, I like to grab my blanket, place it at the top for my head, and I like to grab a bolster. Again, if you don't have a bolster, just grab a pillow. Place it right in front of you. You're gonna lay on your left side. So I'm gonna mirror you. I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna lay on my left. So you're just gonna lower all the way down, rest your head. And then bring your right leg on top of your bolster. And then your left leg is straight out. So this is option 2. Option 3, which is my absolute favorite. You're gonna grab your blocks. So grab one block, place it at the back of your mat. It's gonna be this highest length, like that. And then take your second block to this medium length right in front of it. Okay, grab your bolster. You're just gonna make a bridge. So you're just gonna place your bolster on top of your box. Just like that. And then your blanket is gonna go right in front of your bolster. Okay, and then you're gonna bring your lower back so it touches the edge of your bolster. I like to hold on to mine as I slowly lower back. And then you can just relax. So that is option 3. So finding what works for you. Maybe you want to dim the lights. If you want to play music, or maybe you want to turn your music off. But just begin to get comfortable. And let's take a big deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Slow down the breath. Allow your body to be really heavy on your mat. Send your breath down to your baby's space. Thanking your baby for joining you today. Maybe you want to repeat a positive mantra or an affirmation. Maybe there's a little something you would like to say to your baby, and just carry that with you throughout your practice today. Carry that with you throughout your day or your night or even into tomorrow. Because what we practice on our mat, we also have to continue practicing off our mat. So please continue to stay here in your Shavasana. Stay here as long as you like. The longer, the better. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you and your yogi partner through your practice today. I hope to see you again. And from my heart to yours, I bow in gratitude. Namaste.